You would like to introduce yourself, please.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Shraddha, for giving me the opportunity to be mentor for this program. I would like to thank you for inviting me for this question answer session. Currently I'm a senior wildlife biologist at RNF, where I have been working for over 6 years. I'm also pursuing my PhD at Assam University, Tifu campus, focusing on the ecology and conservation of non-violent small mammals in Northeast India. My work mainly involves field-based wildlife research, small mammal ecology, conservation, planning, and community-linked conservation. So currently, I'm leading a project on the conservation of critically endangered Namdafa flying squirrel, one of the world's rarest flying squirrel. My broader interests include species conservation, bioacoustics, niche modeling, and understanding lesser-known mammals of Northeast India.
Okay, thank you. Introduction, Garne. So let's begin with the Q&A. Junto, it's mostly opinion based or based on your experience.
Yes.
Apuni kenege field or course leba senba. So basically,
Mm.
like, how did you begin your journey in wildlife research? Or since apuni college, apuni PhD Korea se. So how did it start? And enuka key experience asle in your opinion, which currently apna geo position or ase apuni, it helped you, it shaped you.
Yeah, okay. So what I'll do, I'll turn off my camera. Will
Okay,
be
no.
very convenient to talk. Okay, thank you, Shraddha. So my interest in wildlife research started during my student days when I was doing my graduation uh, from Duliajan College. After completing it, I joined a course for 6 months from Digboy College that was conservation biology course. It was career oriented, like only for 6 months. From there, my journey begins and like growing up in Northeast India near Dihingpatka in Nepal. So it's been always a part of my surroundings, which naturally made me curious about biodiversity and how ecosystem works. That was like one of the point where then by working with this DP college, and I also got the opportunity to participate in small field activities and biodiversity surveys through volunteering through RNF. And those experiences developed into a deeper interest in conservation science. Gradually, fieldwork became more than academic for me. So it becomes something I truly enjoy and wanted to pursue seriously. Some of the most important learning experience came from working in remote landscape, interacting with local communities, and learning from senior researchers and mentors. Every field season taught me something new, not just about wildlife, but also about patience, teamwork, and adapting to challenging situations.
Okay, great. That sounds like a wonderful experience. I have done fieldwork, so I can resonate with that. Fieldwork is truly a wonderful experience, of course. So, as you mentioned, apni small mammals of काम करते हैं, and it's one of the rarest. So, initial motivation, where did you get it? Like, what experience or anything that kind of motivated you towards that goal? And I guess still in present scenario, it's changing, but in present scenario, small mammals of Imano, uh, they're basically overlooked as compared to, say, the larger mammals or like the big cats or elephants. So what motivated you in this field?
Most people focus on large animals like tigers or elephants, or in Northeast India, you can say rhinos. But small mammals are equally important for ecosystem.
Right.
They help in seed dispersal, soil process, and are important part of the food chain. It is also a very, you can say, bioindicator because they are mostly habitat specialists. Okay. So what really interested me now was how little we still know about many species in Northeast India. When you talk about Northeast India, uh, when you talk about these small mammals, considering this Scandensia, Ulipotifera, and Rodentia family, there are almost 163 species from Northeast India. To that, when you cut it down, there is 54 to 60 species that are found in Assam. Okay. And from that, some species are rarely studied. And in some cases, we may lose them before properly understanding them. I will mention one of the species, Manipur bushwhack, that is endemic to Northeast India. You can say it was the type locality of the species is from Manipur, and again it was sighted in from Assam, in this Manas landscape to this Bhutan foothills. No? This is basically, and it is almost like 70 years ago. After that, there is no research, no sighting, no information. So, according to this, you can say the species is considered to be lost.
Right.
And during my recent visit to museum, I have gone through a few of the samples which really need taxonomic or molecular studies. So there are many species like that.
Mm-hmm.
So these thoughts and like motivated me to work on lesser known species and contribute baseline information that can support future conservation efforts.
Yes. Yeah, that's a wonderful perspective. I think we need more researchers to sort of help the smaller mammals as well. So now coming to helping the students, especially in Northeast India. So what skills, be it practical বা technical skills, so field worker বহুত দরকার হয়. So what do you think they can do in early stage to sort of learn these skills?
So students should focus on clinical and practical field skills early. Basic ecological understanding, species identification, data recording, GPS handling, GIS basic, and statistical analysis are very useful. Nowadays, when you talk about pure like field-based research, when you are adding these components into that data, it makes it very robust and very, like you can say, you can publish it in very high quality journal. So having this kind of skills make you like move into research and things and all. At the same time, you have to also we need to also develop these practical skills that are equally important, like physical fitness, patience, communication, teamwork, note taking, and the ability to adapt to difficult field conditions. Field research is not only about science, it is also about discipline,
Mhm.
consistency, and learning how to work respectfully with local communities and field staff. See, I will here this communication and relationship building, that too in wildlife sector networking. This is the very major component which every researcher should like. You should be feel free to talk to someone, to
Yeah.
know, to learn new things, attending workshop. Even though if you're not presenting somewhere, you are attending that, which is making your networking and you are developing things. And this is how you can develop your skills and practical skills and technical skills. In this.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree. Practical skills is necessary. And also, like you mentioned, being in the field is also about like rigor and how much mentally you're prepared. Because I spent 3 months in Manas and I remember if it's physically like challenging, like mentally also you need to be strong as well. And also like the other skills, like the technical skills is obviously needed when you're working in the field. So, so now since we are talking about field work, so what are the common challenges, or just in general, what are the challenges you faced because your work is mostly field based, right? And also, I think your
Yes.
species is also nocturnal, so you had to work at the night as well. So how did you prepare yourself for it?
Okay. So fieldwork in Northeast India can be both exciting and challenging. When you talk about this landscape, this terrain, it's like having from this Indo-Malayan, Indo-Burma to this Eastern Himalayas contributing together, no? Then when you go beside in this Brahmaputra floodplains, it's very challenging and very exciting also. Like from like if you're tracking, if you're in Eastern Himalayas and you start trekking from one place to another. Suddenly it will hike so much. Like when I was there working in Anini in Divang Valley, working on this herpetoffauna, I was like, okay, we started for trekking and it started from 300-meter, and after like 7 to 8 hours, we were in 5,000. So it's how gradually this terrain is it's very challenging. And then one of the most thing is like unpredictable weather when you are there. You have, yes, obviously, these transportation issues, communication limitations. So working in this Namdafa, nowadays there is a network, at least you can have a call. But
Mhm.
last few years when I was there, like in 2019 or you say mid of the 2020, there was no communication. So like we have to be there, and just when you want something, you will come back from the field. It will be almost like 15, 20 days with no communication. Uh,
Right.
that is, then you have some logistical or administrative challenges also, like getting permission, getting for entries and all. These are the some challenges. And sometimes even if reaching a field site can take days because of weather, road condition, or river crossing. You have a certain setup, like you will go and do the field survey there, but reaching itself is a challenging to that particular place. So field work in Northeast India teaches you to stay flexible because things rarely go exactly according to your plan.
Right.
Whatever you will plan, it's not going to be the same when you are in field.
Mhm.
Then preparation is very important. Researchers need proper planning, physical and mental, then backup equipment, safety measures, and strong coordination with local communities and forest departments.
Mhm.
Equally important is learning to stay flexible because field conditions rarely go exactly as planned, as you were already there in field. So
Mhm.
most of the time the plan which you have made, it doesn't work in field. You have to adapt it according to the condition. And for my survey, when I started doing survey, I was like, okay, this is very new to me doing nocturnal survey, that doing rainforest area where you get very rare opportunity to do this. I was like, okay, let's begin it. And we were like doing surveys from like 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Then it went 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Things were getting more interesting.
Mhm.
Whenever I used to be like back from field, like it will be around 9 p.m., 10 p.m., we used to get more sightings.
Right.
So gradually, when we started, our timing for the field survey was 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. And after 1 month of doing survey in Namdapha, that scenario actually totally changed. And it became from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Mhm.
Because most of these nocturnal sightings I used to get in 1 a.m.
Okay.
And 2 a.m. Very, very beautiful sightings of this Binturang, then slow lorries.
Mm.
I'll share one of most interesting story. No? We used to think slow lorries are very slow,
Mm.
but when they are active during night time, so we used to flash the torch, we used to sight it, then after few minutes or few seconds back, we will when we will like turn on the torch, it's gone. It's very, very fast. You can't even. So this is how things are there in field actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds really exciting, but yeah, like you mentioned, it comes with a lot of challenges, of course. So moving on to the next question, I think we touched on this already, but so how important is like tools like GIS, niche modeling, bioacoustics, or statistical analysis, be it R or Python. So how important, in your opinion, it is in wildlife research today?
Yeah. So these tools have become like extremely important in modern wildlife research nowadays. Like GIS and niche modeling help us understanding habitat use, distribution pattern, and conservation planning. But one more thing I want to highlight it here. We have to be very particular with the tools, what we are using it, where we need to use it, what are the limitations of these tools, because these tools are run you can say no AI model, or the models are like mathematical model.
Right.
Without having any field experience, if we are using these tools, it will always backfire. So we have to be very cautious while using these tools. But GIS and modeling tools are very useful. You need to have these things in your planning section. In your planning session, you can plan it accordingly. It's very
Mm.
useful. It gives you a rapid response and rapid answer, for this Reiki service and all, for
Right.
preparing your plans. It's very, very useful tools. Then after your field work, you need to validate your all the analysis. What are the things you got in the earlier? Like you say, you have few localities of a like very elusive or like very cryptic species. You have done a modeling. You have done a niche modeling, which is very useful to rely on only for the Reiki surveys. I always suggest researchers to re-verify the output of the tools, whatever we have used. Is it actually what the result is given is naturally correct, or it's just a result? Because anyway, whenever you are putting something, it will give you a result. So it's you from your field knowledge, from the literature, who will validate that that particular outputs. I want to talk more about this biostatistics.
Mhm.
Sorry, not biostatistics,
Right.
bioacoustics. This is an emerging and very useful tool. Very useful.
Mhm.
Having a database for this, having a database for uh, species with this acoustic, you can do or you can assess the biodiversity like in the you can say for collecting this baseline data, which will be very it won't be that laborious. It will be much more cost effective. And nowadays it's very increasing. People researchers are using this tool. So having a knowledge of this bioacoustic, it's it's good nowadays to apply in your research. At least now we can have a database. For birds, we have a database.
Right.
For bats, we have, but for mammals in Northeast India, I'm trying to build a library itself. When we have a library, we can at least we can use the database to identify more species in the particular region.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
um,
Mm.
yes. So however, technology should complement, not replace field observation.
Mhm.
Strong field ecology combined with analytical tool creates the best scientific outcomes.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. So, would you say these tools are difficult to like learn, or what would you suggest to anyone listening, like a student who is, say, in their bachelor's? Usually, they ask, when they are talking about CV building and they're interested in wildlife, they do ask questions like, how do I basically experience this? So, what would you suggest? Like, is it difficult, and can students from Northeast easily learn these tools?
Learning these tools are very easy. Nowadays, we have you can get things very online. You can get things online. Materials are available.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, things are online actually. But I would suggest whenever you're using or learning any tool, first you go through the manual. That will teach you about 90 to 95% how to use the tool, where to use the tool. That will be very convenient. Don't directly just go and drag on some YouTube videos and just clear your background. Then efficiently you can use the tool. It will be very easy for you. And whenever you have this for these statistics and all, I would suggest people should start when they are doing their graduation only during their bachelor's, learn how to use this R for simple statistics like mean, median, mode. From there, they can begin and they can do simple analysis and they can build up what they want from the R. And for this bioacoustics, there are two softwares mostly used is Raven Pro, and for Northeast India, not only Northeast India, for this Southeast Asia, it's free. The version is free. You need to mail them, and they will give you the key for this Raven Pro. It's very useful tool. Then for GIS, QGIS, yeah, QGIS is free. You can download it. You can explore it. The Graphical user interface is very easy. It's like just playing a game when you explore applications like that. That's all. And also, if students are connected with this group, what we can do, we can organize
Mm.
trainings for them, like
Yeah.
for Northeast India, like 3 days, 4 days online, or like meeting somewhere in a place. We can make it free. Like if students are very eagerly want to learn this tool, I can manage like 3 days or
Mm.
2 days learning for them free, like where we can sit and we can discuss, even though I can show them whatever I know for learning these tools.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. I think it will benefit a lot of students if they get to learn from you because you have so much experience. You use these tools on a daily basis for your work. So yeah, I think like you mentioned, like regarding R, I remember I didn't have any knowledge of it that much. It was mostly theoretical, but I did sign up for an online course, which is something you suggested, like it was free of cost. So it's really important. I think for my project, it helped me a lot. It helped me save a lot of time. So yeah, like whatever you said really would help like all the students listening today. So moving on to the next question, since you are pursuing your PhD and you have so much experience in wildlife conservation, so what advice would you give to whoever any for students who want to pursue a PhD, like জন্য PhD করবো বিচারি আছে after masters
Right.
in wildlife biology or ecology in general?
Okay, I would suggest, if that's my personal like opinion, or I can you can say yeah, personal opinion. If you want to pursue your career in wildlife, I would suggest, please go with the mainstream subjects at least till your masters, like having a degree on geology, or botany, or life science, EVS. Don't jump into direct wildlife biology course where your area becomes very small where you can apply. But if you keep open, then you can apply in different institutes, different areas, though keeping your topic very restricted to wildlife. That is one of the biggest suggestion. Like I used to means what I faced, I am giving to. I just wanted to share it. For this PhD, if you want to do a PhD, it requires lots of patience and long-term commitment. I think you know this is like how things are. So
Mm.
students should choose a topic that genuinely enjoy working. That is one. There will be difficult phase, slow progress, uncertainty at times, specifically during field-based research. So, and what I want to suggest, when if you are already set up your mindset for your PhD, I would suggest do the Reiki survey in your master dissertation. So whatever broadly you are thinking for your PhD, do the Reiki survey as your master dissertation. Try to publish it. Make connections with your subject interest to the person who are working in the field, like the PI with whom you want to work. Make connections with them. Initially, start talking with them, developing things and all. So, along with field skills, students should try to build confidence in statistics, scientific, what we were talking, scientific writing and data analysis. So that is very important in PhD. And PhD is not just earning a degree, it teaches you how to think critically and work independently as a researcher. So students should choose a topic they are genuinely passionate about, because a PhD degree it requires a long-term commitment and patience. It is important to build a strong foundation in ecology, statistics, scientific writings, and field methods. I would suggest gaining field experience before starting a PhD and being mentally prepared for challenges, uncertainties, slow progress at times. This is what a PhD. It's not about earning only a degree. It's process of learning how to think scientifically and independently. Yeah, that is what my suggestion
Yeah, those are like
or
wonderful
advice you can
questions.
say.
I definitely agree. Like PhD is all about how you can pursue like an independent research. It takes a lot of patience, as you mentioned. So moving on, uh, basically now. Yeah, like you already,
I want to add.
yeah,
Yes, I
sure.
want to add one more thing from my PhD. I
Right.
have registered my PhD in January 2022. Okay. I already started working in this landscape, so I had idea with the communities and few observational records which I thought I can use in my PhD fieldwork. But it took me around 3 years to get permission for my PhD. So registered in 2022, I got permission in 2025 to do my PhD fieldwork in the landscape. That's like, see, almost like 22 to 23, 24. It's 3 years I was struggling to get even the permission to work. This is the struggles, no? When
Yeah,
you
I
have
think
to be very
especially,
mentally
yeah.
prepared.
So do you think
But
with
in the
field,
other side,
yeah,
yeah,
please go on.
where while when I was struggling with the permission to like rigorously work for this life trapping and all in the landscape, on the other side it was rewarding. Like, I got publications already. I got 2 or 3 publications for my PhD. Extra publications, you can say, like new distribution record of this Vandaluria oleracea,
Mhm.
then for this Hylobatis albonizer, small flying squirrel from this landscape. So these are like it goes parallel,
Yeah.
You're struggling, you're getting reward from the nature. This is how.
So would you say, like in general, it is difficult to get permission for field work because everything is so sensitive or there are ethical issues related to it? So would you say compared to say lab-based work, is it relatively difficult?
See, for my PhD topic, in my methodology, it was like doing of life trapping. So getting a permission, it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
It could have like, though I'm working in a community managed land, I never thought of doing this life trapping in a national park where it would have been like more and more difficult to get permission to work for this trapping and all. So yeah, it's quite difficult to get permissions also, even though. So it's basically how strong your proposal is
Right.
and how good your connections are.
Okay, thank you for answering that. So, I think you already talked about bioacoustics. So, what are some of the emerging research areas that students should really pay attention to? So, would you like to share anything?
Yes. So some emerging areas including conservation genetics, environmental eDNA. I'll talk a little bit about this later on. Then this climate change ecology, disease ecology, landscape ecology, biostatistics, then AI assisted biodiversity monitoring. And one of the major thing is community-based conservation. Interdisciplinary research is also becoming increasingly important, combining ecology with technology, soil science, or spatial analysis, which creates a impactful conservation outcomes. So I want to talk. I have already talked about this bioacoustics. It's very like emerging one nowadays. Then the other one is like eDNA, which you can see in the photo. So I was supported by one of the it's named Johan Venture, yeah. So I'm supported for my this rediscovery project by them. So this is an eDNA setup where they have helped me with the equipments and few filters. This is new in Southeast Asia, and nowadays these samplings are like for critically endangered that to schedule species, getting permission to handle that species is very difficult. So these are the alternative non-invasive eDNA methods which can be used to collect data. These are emerging in the fields.
Mhm.
And most important, we should be very like connected to the community who are nearby. They know things. My this when we were searching for this Namdafa flying squirrel, we were mostly connected with the nearby peoples, asking them, "Have you seen this or things and that?" I got one lead from them only, people nearby. Like you can where we started searching in this type locality, but we ended up going like around you can say 30 to 40 kilometers beyond that one. So this is how when you work with the community, it's very good to get things done also. And yeah, things are easier with, and
Mhm.
this kind of research it's evolving nowadays. Most of the funders also will fund if you have one objective with awareness program or community led something like that related to community conservation.
Yeah, I think I agree. Community conservation is definitely sustainable. And তেওঁলোকৰ বহুত traditional knowledge যোনটো থাকে বুলি কয় সেইটো
Right,
সদায় help হয় like you
right.
said আপোনাৰ citing to it basically you had a lead from them. So I definitely agree how important it